Text FX Slide function found in the built-ins and the Functions tab within the Text FX folder will allow you to slide text on the X, Y, or Z scale to move it. The way this works is that we'll go grab a font here and we'll slide this down into the scene tree. I'm just going to move this over here. I'm going to go back into my Functions tab and grab this TFX scale. Now again, I don't have a certain icon installed on my system, so we get this little present or gift box icon. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work. We can still use it if you see an icon like that. So I'm going to click on my Text FX Slide function to go into the editor. First thing again that we notice here is the progress percentage. At 0, I'm going to set a keyframe and I'm going to increase this to 100. And I'm going to hit another set keyframe. Now right away when we hit play, you can see how this shifts the text or slides it up on the X and Y scale. The options are not unlike the others that we have. We have a progress type here that we can set to absolute or relative. We have a direction, which is set to normal by default. We can change it to opposite, and when we play that, now goes the opposite direction. We have a random direction. We can increase that through the random seed down here. We also have a static. So when we hit play on static, it just moves the whole word up together. We also have wave. When we hit wave, it goes through each individual character. We have center. It goes to the center and then to center. It plays to the center. We also have interpolate, which is set to soft by default. We can change this to linear, and this manages how the keyframes are interpolated. There's an effect range. We can adjust the effect range. It just says that when number 5 is being started, number 1 is done. So if you want to change variables like that, make it faster or slower, you can use the effect range. Random seed, again, is used in conjunction with the random direction. Now the ignore space and ignore new line works in conjunction with relative. And the way relative works is that if we increase the number of fonts that we have, relative is going to take into account a certain number of characters and only play to that certain number of characters. So you can see that we have the progress percentage set to 100 now. It's only going to advance so far. If we have it set to relative, we need to increase this progress percentage to affect the whole line. We'll change it back to absolute. So we have a text order down here, as is by default. There's also a horizontal. When we turn on the horizontal, we get the text direction left to right or right to left. There's also a vertical. When we change it to vertical, it goes from up to down or down to up. And we also have an X distance, Y distance, and Z distance. Set to 100 by default for the X and the Y distance, but the Z distance is set to 0. So we can adjust these numbers to make it slide or land in a different place if we wish. So if we adjust each one of these, you can see that when we hit play, it starts in the same place, but it goes a little further on the X and the Y. We also have a show direction button. When you turn this on, this basically just shows you the direction that it's sliding, so you can use that if you want. So by using all these different variables and settings, you can get a lot of different looks by using this TFX slide function.